Hi! Welcome back to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. It's been a while since we've recorded, as are most of these recording sessions now. It's like once every 2 weeks rather than every week, sometimes once every 3 weeks. But you know what? We're here. And that's what's important.
We have lives. Sorry.
We have lives. I know, and it's the holiday season, and I'm traveling a lot. It's mostly my fault this month, for sure, because I'm just gone. Regardless, wave and say hello to all of your lovely cast members that I have here today.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to do a quick recap on what we're doing here because we're going to be jumping into chaos, death, misery rather quickly. Our party, exhausted, beaten, bruised from their trek into hopefully saving some of their friends at the battle at Steel Springs, had returned to Castle Kalaman, hoping to make their report to the Governor Miat there, and upon making their way to the castle, finding it eerily quiet, mostly empty, and apparently occupied by some really cool undead ancient Solomonic knights. Governor Miat's dead, pinned to the throne, the chair of which he normally sat for all of his meetings, by a longsword, and a man greeted us there, which that was kind of fun. And that dude put up quite a good fight himself. Does anyone remember what his name was? His name was Caradoc. And yeah, it seemed that
I was going to say Cardoc.
Good enough.
Kind of close.
Caradoc, a knight of Solamnia.
Knights of the Liars.
Knights of the Liars. Turns out he was not an active knight at all, but a ghost of a knight long past who made great use of the possession ability to harm our friends by making them harm each other. We did eventually defeat the ghost, and by defeat, it seems that he was ripped away from his current place. It was not going well for us, and whatever had called that ghost back likely saved our party, because it was not going well.
We have pretty thick plot armor, I would say.
Pretty thick plot armor, yes. Yeah. And you were able to find a slightly scorched parchment left there behind that says, "The people of Kalaman, I exert my rightful claim as ruler of the province of Nightland. Submit or flee. Signed, Lord Lauren Soth, Knight of the Rose." An ancient knight of Solamnia of the Order of the Rose ruled the province of Nightland when it was known as Nightland. And then Lidara arrived? The musician Lidara from way back when? Before Vogler was a pile of ash across the river, pushed us forward that there was a secret beneath the castle that we must find. So we headed down into the catacombs beneath Castle Kalaman. The catacombs had absolutely been walked through, traipsed through, bashed through prior to our arrival. Immense holes ripped into the sidewall as if someone had been on a very specific mission and did not wish to traverse the catacombs correctly. We saw visions.
Correctly subjective.
Yeah. We saw visions outlined in violet flames. Flames that ensconced the tombs set into the walls of the crypt. We saw what seemed to be the life of an ancient Solomonic knight. Their rise and their fall. We ended our session reaching what seemed to be the last room. Violet flames outlining the tombs and the walls of the spacious crypt. A heavy stone brazier resting in the center sits empty. Sarcophagus to the north lies in pieces at the mouth of the crumbling tunnel that you walk through. And a wall to the south is similarly broken and reaches the outside the far end of the tomb, flaming dais holds a sarcophagus sculpted with the image of a knight. A life-size sculpture of a dead dragon that seemed to have been impaled by something curls around the sarcophagus. We moved into the room to see if we could investigate a little bit more closely. We found fresh blood, ash and dust and dirt scattered along the ground. As we made our way to the center of the catacomb chamber, there was a slamming sound from the casket to our east. And someone rose up from out of it. The last image that we saw, the violet flames wavered, forming an ominous image once more. The terrifying knight from your vision stepped through the wall. He approached the brazier at the room's center, above which roils a flaming orb. The knight held a scepter, sculpted with screaming faces. Once touched to the ball of flame, the scepter ignites. The orb vanishes. The knight admires the flaming scepter, points it at the ornate tomb and the statue at the end of the room. Both burst into flames that spread throughout the crypt. The knight moves to the sculpture of the statue and tears what seems to be the lance that had once punctured through it. You note the knight turns, seemingly startled by the arrival of someone, something. A battle begins. The vision ends with this knight ripping through the southern wall. That vision fades, and a monster climbs its way out of the crypt. It gasps and rasps with lungs that are not there. And the knight, looking like a nightmare, shrouded in this purple cataclysmic flame, ancient Solamnic armor, worn, and a flaming skull from the top, lunges forward. I need everyone to roll me initiative before we even get to think about it.
Oh, no.
Good rolls. Reyna on a 21, Talinor 17, Ravenna 16, our enemy at 15, Svartal at 13, Razik at 5.
Yeah.
Razik at 5.
Yeah,
Do you want to
totally
play today or what?
Yeah, I'm just taking my time. I need a chicken wing or something.
Just, you're trying to give him a head start.
We're all going to get the same number of turns, which is probably 1.
Yes, as a reminder for everyone at home, this party is 2 points worth of exhausted. Already incredibly injured, as if you are watching right now, you can see some of these tokens are bloodied. Some of them worse off than others. And I'm sure everything will be successful. That being said, Reyna, you watch as this knight tears out of the tomb. Sword ablaze, body ablaze, wearing the ancient armor of the Knights of Solamnia. Your people, what do you want to do?
Slight hesitation seeing the armor. This is a little too much. Too many suits of armor, especially given now this is like undead, more than likely. So regardless,
Identity crisis.
like, you know what? Fine. Gaining my steel, quite literally pulling out my long sword and then my shield as well. We're gonna go sword and board this time. Just simply yelling out, "Torms!" Like, we're not gonna hesitate anymore. We're done with this shit. Tired of fucking around.
Okay. With our second level of exhaustion, we are at half move speed. So keep that in mind as we try to traverse around the room.
Well, shoot.
Fortunately for you, you are just in range there, Reyna.
I was a little scared. So yeah, I will use my 15 movement to get just right up in front of it. Right, the pointer, right there. And I'm going to attempt to hit with both my attacks.
Absolutely. Yep, so Reyna moves forward, rushing as well as you can in your current state, an attempt to hit the creature, the man, the skeleton. A 10 on the first, a 9 on the second, both easily parried away by the ancient knight.
I'm still a little shaken. Just these Knights of Solamnia coming at me. I'm having like Ravenna said, I'm having an identity crisis.
Okay.
That ends my turn.
People?
That is it. Okay.
What do you want?
Who are you?
Talinor, as the healthiest in the room, what do you want to do?
That's a very relative description. Okay. I will fire a Chaos Bolt at him. And
Absolutely.
That's going to be my most impactful action this combat, so let's hope it hits. That is an 11.
An
Wow.
11,
Wow.
unfortunately, will miss. As
Excellent.
the knight, seemingly quicker than we expected, moves out of the way.
Yep. And then I'm going to sidle behind the rest of the party, because
Absolutely.
I don't want to stand next to that guy. Alright,
Don't want to stand next to that guy.
No.
Yeah.
But if you could not move near me, that'd be perfect.
Quick, cling to the healthiest one.
We're all clinging to
Ravenna!
Ravik's little robot.
It's what's it called? We're like a pack of zebras. If we stick
And I'm like
together.
out of combat.
Ravenna, it is your
Uh,
go.
I have one more rage left, so I would
Yeah.
like to rage.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, let's see here, bark a couple
Yeah, the
times.
dogs of war! That's Brass Brush, right? Like, Brass Brush now has a marking feature. Mhm.
Oh wait, you said my
Yeah.
movement's cut in half, right?
You have 15 feet of movement. Or, well, so for barbarians, let me double check. Some of you have enhanced movement, but you have half.
I have
current.
40, so I have 20.
Yeah, so you have half of whatever your movement is, which is 15, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say 15. So it's 5, 10. How far away is he?
Remember, if you are utilizing your weapon, your
Oh yeah, rage
glaive,
won't,
you
rage won't
have
work on the
reach.
thing. Oh, I do have
No, you
reach.
have reach. hmm So yeah, and you remember
I'm
you
gonna
can
move
pass
right
through
here.
allies for free. Yep, all good, and that's within 10. So
Okay,
you
so
are fine with reach.
I would like to use my halberd to attack.
Okay.
Or was it my glaive?
You have a glaive, I think.
You have a
Yeah,
glaive.
glaive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A 12, unfortunately, will also miss. This
I'd
one
like to
completely
use
ignored
my
and clanging off his armor.
like to use my pole arm bonus.
Yep, bonus action here. Well, side note, you've already bonus action raged. There's no polearm bonus
Oh
attack
yeah, that's right.
on this
Yep.
round.
Nope. It's okay. I rolled 13 anyways.
Yeah, I just want to double check because we are not level 5 yet in any class. You still have the singular attack. Yeah, so that's bonus action, action, and movement, Ravenna. That's it. The knight, his voice hollow. Lord Soth calls to me. The flames of the cataclysm force me to rise. I shall strike down those who stand against the Lord. And he will attempt to do so, making 3 flaming blade attacks against his enemies. Fortunately, Reyna, with your shield out, the first 2 attacks will go slamming against it. You could feel the weight and impact against you. Only the third will find the mark. A 21 to hit for 15 necrotic damage. Watch as it slices through a piece of your armor and body, and your flesh begins to rot from the blow.
Well, that was a super spicy hit. I'm not like a stalwart shield or nothing. I'm more like a crumbling shield right now, but it's okay. We got this.
Mm-hmm. That is what the knight does. He remains here, just against Reyna. Svartal, what would you like to do?
He's hurt. He's feeling it. He was also kind of on probably the most focused, maybe. I think anybody's ever seen him, so he's kind of slow to react, which is why he went after everybody, I think. And he turns, he looks at the knight, and he just kind of wipes like the blood or sweat or whatever off, and just like, all right. So he's gonna go with the sword or not the sword, the spear and shield this time, one-handed spear.
Okay.
And put a shield on, and then we're gonna rage. Because, you know, what else
Absolutely.
do barbarians do?
Yep,
Just
that
what
is
they
what
do.
barbarians do. What form are we taking here?
The tail. We're gonna grow
Okay.
a tail.
Absolutely.
And I assume this tail isn't an obstacle, right? This dragon tail.
It would be hard to stand on, but you can be next to Reyna and still be within range.
Yeah, I don't want to stand on that. I was wondering if it was gonna block my attack if I was here.
No, it'll be okay. It's low
Okay.
enough down. If it was on some of the larger ends, for sure.
Cool. So then, yeah, he'll approach. Maybe close enough to clank shields with Reyna there, and go for a stab.
Absolutely. Oh, we're
That's-
reckless?
Why is disadvantage is on? That's right.
Uh,
No, but that's a double 20, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah, okay. I was going to ask if you were doing reckless attack.
I didn't say it, so I should, but no.
Okay, and I'm going to just toggle you back on to normal. Regardless,
Yeah.
that is a crit. You do find the mark on a 26 with this spear stab.
For
You
the
wanna go
audience,
ahead
I'm
and
missing
roll?
60 points, so maybe I shouldn't reckless attack.
Missing a lot of health right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
From here, however, an 11 points of damage, utilizing the spear on the first strike, Svartal. As the spear does hit, it does seem to wound the creature, though despite its skeletal nature, there's like an intake of breath, as if the knight does still feel pain.
Interesting. Svartal's too dumb to understand that, but I'm
Okay.
The player is thinking that stuff. I guess he's just gonna stab again. Why not?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. You've already started your attack action. Might as well take the second. An 8.
So an 8.
Unfortunately, will be turned aside by the knight.
He's so dumbfounded and scared by the screech, maybe, or the pain.
Yeah. Okay. Razik.
Let's swing it again. He just goes.
Joel. What I'm first going to do is move the Steel Defender like that.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yep.
And then I will do this. My movement like this.
Oh,
So
we're
that-
just
using all
surrounding
of
the
it.
man. Oh my god, yeah. Absolutely.
So I will make 2 great sword attacks. 26 on the first one
Does hit.
for 11 slashing damage.
Absolutely.
And then another one. That's a nat 1, Joel.
That, unfortunately, will miss, as it seems the knight is adept at catching at least the second strikes from each of you here.
And my Steel Defender's making an attack. It's a 14.
Force-empowered rend on a 14, unfortunately, will also miss, as it slams against the armor.
Well, that's it for me, Joel.
Okay. Reyna, coming back around to the top. That first blow you did receive, still eating away at your body. Feel the necrotic energy continuing to sap your life away. What would you like to do?
You know, I'm gonna cry first, realizing I'm not a rogue and I can't just bonus action disengage. Don't worry, it's fine. I got this. Chicken nuggets. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use our action to disengage away,
Okay.
realizing that hit freaking hurt more than I expected to. We're gonna go 15 feet back. I'm pretty sure that was 15.
That's a
No,
little
that's
bit
too
more.
much.
5, I
A
think.
little too much.
So this is also a large stone brazier in the center. It would not be
Yeah.
possible to pass over. Yeah, so you can go
There we go.
down and around if you'd like to.
5, 10, 15. There we go. Okay. So then after that bonus action, let's go and give my homie some heals.
Okay.
Let's see here. Oh, is this? I'm gonna have to touch him for this one. Hold on.
Oh
I have to
no,
touch.
I have
My
to
apologies.
touch him.
I have to touch him.
It just sounded like, oh god, I've got to touch him.
Yeah, do we have
I
spell
thought I had
slots?
distance. I
have spell
don't,
slots
but I
left?
have spell slots. I do. I have 4, 1. Oh wait.
You were at 0 and 0 on my screen.
I'm reading this wrong. Oh no. And I gave all my lay on hands to Ravenna, which is not a problem. What do we have?
But
What do
you
we have?
are-
What do we have?
Spent. No channel divinities, no lay on hands. No spell
I am freaking
slots.
tapped out.
You are fully tapped.
I'm gonna take a page from Talinor's book. Firebolt!
Absolutely. Firebolt.
Firebolt! We got this.
Plastic for a reason, don't we?
23. It does hit.
Hey!
Good job. The firebolt goes streaking across, striking the knight and splashing 10 points of fire damage across it. You do realize that at least the fire still does damage, though the skeletal man is on fire already. It seems to still affect him.
Cool. Now, really dumb question, because I don't cast spells often. Since I have 2 attacks, do I get to do another one, or is that it?
No, so
Okay.
the spell description there does say as an action.
Didn't you
Okay,
action
okay.
disengage though?
Oh, you did action disengage.
Yeah, so you can't
so I
cast
can't
You
fire.
can't even do
firebolt. So I
this.
like try to conjure this little firebolt, and then it goes
Fizzles.
and then fizzles.
And the knight goes, haha, I'm already on fire anyways, so what would that do? Yes. And that's just me forgetting action economy.
I'm gonna cry on my bonus action, and then I end my turn.
Perfect. You know what? Crying's a free action, so if you ever need to do that, that's all up to you. Talonor,
All right.
you're gonna get an actual firebolt out of this?
I'm gonna give an actual fire. No, I'm
Hell
not. I'm
yeah.
actually gonna. Actually, no. I am gonna do a fireball. Sorry, I'm not going into the tank yet.
He like rolls up his sleeves. Let's
Yeah, I'm like,
learn.
well, let's see if his rather Barnabas-esque taunt is accurate. And,
That's a
natural
nat
20.
20! Hey! That's 2 nat 20s all right for
22 points of
22!
damage. Who needs spell slots when you got fireball?
Jesus. That was very, very solid. Nicely done.
All right. And other than that, I am just gonna hold my position where I am.
Excellent. Okay. Ravenna, you were still at range here. Turn 2 of rage. What do you want to do?
I will attempt to stab him again with my glaive.
Absolutely. This time, 13 does not hit. It's the first swing of the glaive does miss. You do have your bonus action strike this round. However, if you would like to use the butt end of the glaive to make a strike.
Joel, can you do the thing where you flip the switch so I don't roll absolutely terrible for the last
yeah. Hang on. Click, click, click,
four
click.
round, like 4
It's,
different episodes? I swear, I've
Do you mean
just been
streamer mode? He's got to turn streamer
Yeah,
mode.
hang
yeah,
on.
turn streamer mode on.
Journalism mode. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
That's 10. Apparently, the switch does not matter. And Ravenna is living the exhausted life well and truly into the dice rolls.
Well, that
Okay.
ends my turn.
It do end your turn. The knight stalks forward and will make 3 attacks, 1 against each of our characters here. Its blade flaming to life again, 1 for Svartal, 1 for Ravenna, and 1 for Razik. The first is a 20, the second is a 25, and the third is a 23. Razik, would you like to try and impose disadvantage on any singular one of these? I think it can only be the one against you.
Well, actually, can Brass Brush could do disadvantage on the one on me? Because I think.
That's what I mean. He's the
Oh,
only
sorry,
one
because then
within
I also have my
5.
radiant weapon, don't I?
So, defender imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see within 5 feet of the target.
All right,
Right.
yeah.
So that is what the defender does. Should the attack still hit, then you get to use your radiant weapon reaction. Remember, that one requires you to be hit.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
So, because it may not hit at all, I'm going to re-roll the attack here. It goes from 23 to 21. So this will still hit, and you will be able to use your reaction for the blade, but let's go ahead and do all of the damage around, ending on Razik, your first attack. 20 for 20 against Svartal. Svartal does drop as the flaming blade lances through him, the necrotic energy eating through his flesh. Svartal hits the ground on a 25, deals 16 points of damage against Ravenna. You note this is necrotic, and unfortunately is not resisted by either of your rages. The blade slashes across Ravenna, again, the necrotic energy eating away underneath your armor for 16 points. The last attack is 16 again, Razik. Necrotic damage.
Okie doke.
Would you like to utilize your reaction to do your radiant weapon?
Yes, I would. I would now like to do that, please. So
okay.
It's,
What do I need to roll?
A con save.
A con save.
And the DC is 16.
The knight rolls a 24.
Well, that's pretty good for
That's
him.
more than 16.
It is. There's a bright, blinding flash of light from your radiant weapon. The knight seems to not have eyes to be blinded.
Oh, he's just a skull. Oh, silly me.
So,
Okay.
sorry, Ravenna, did you go down as well, or was it just Svartal?
Ravenna is still up.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I was trying
10
to...
hit points, baby!
Still up.
Okay, I see.
But barely. Okay. Svartal, I need a death save.
Okay. How do I do that again?
There is
This
a
one.
button labeled death save.
Yep.
That is a 9. Fortunately for you, you are just inside Reyna's aura, which does apply to all saving throws, including death saves. So, Reyna, your charisma score is, what's the bonus? +1, which makes this just saving at 10.
Hey. We'll take it.
So mark 1 save.
Yep, done.
Razik.
I'm just going for more attacks, Joel. 14
Okay.
on the first one. But I'm gonna finally burn that inspiration and roll.
You're gonna
that.
do an advantage?
Yeah.
Finally, all
I
right.
feel like we finally. I'm 27 on that one.
Okay, so roll the second attack. So the first one is not with the advantage, or are you burning the inspiration for the second attack? Tell
Sorry,
me-
that was my first attack. Well, I was
Okay,
burning
so
the
we
inspiration
burned the
on.
inspiration for the first attack, making this one a 27. Okay,
And then
12
the
slashing
second attack.
damage from the Radiant Greatsword.
It's 24.
24 does indeed hit for another 8.
And then the Steel Defender with an 8.
Fortunately, that does miss, but we deal 20 total points of damage. And you note that what we're doing is working. The undead creature is injured. But it's more a race against it being able to kill us first. Razik, that is your action, your bonus action. You have movement remaining should you like to use it.
I'm good, Joel.
Reyna, you note now, as it comes around to your turn once again, that the necrotic energy, having not been hit again, seems to slow. It's no longer eating away actively at your flesh, though it does still burn from the large slash against you there. What would you like to do?
I almost regret backing up now. But, you know,
No,
things happen.
No ragrats.
No rag, not even one letter. Okay.
Not even a letter.
Okay.
No, you got
All right.
this.
We got this. We got this. We got this. But he needs to go down regardless. So, you know what? It is what it is. Realizing my mistake in taking a step back, I will instead take one step forward, realizing that I was being a coward. Like, I was literally becoming scared at this undead, the Knight of Solamnia, like, faced with these decisions of, do we take this creature down? You know what? We have only one choice. So F it. Let's go. Let's just do it. First attack.
10!
I'm going to use my Knights of Solamnia.
We still have some of those?
Proficiency.
Dear Lord. Yeah, burn it. Now's the time.
I don't remember if I actually used any last battle, to be perfectly honest.
You should have
Did
a
I use
tracker.
at least like 1 or 2?
You should have a tracker.
Because I have 3 in total.
Right. So
There's
why is
no
it not
tracker.
on your tracker? I know I made one.
There's a tracker for this? I see Lay on Hands, Divine Sense, Channel Divinity.
No, I know I made one. It's just not there now. It's fine. Squire of Solamnia.
I will say I used 2 last battle, because
All
last
good.
battle was pretty hairy. This would be my last one.
Yeah. Uses benefit. Bonus expended. 24 does indeed hit. For your first attack here for 9 slashing damage
Second attack.
is a 10,
Jeez Louise.
which unfortunately does miss. Okay. Right now you have bonus action remaining should you like to use it.
Don't think I have no spells. I have no potions. I don't think I have anything. One second. Do I have my... Did I already use my channel divinity last time? I don't remember.
Tracker says 0.
So then I must have. Okay. So yeah, that's it. That ends my turn.
Talonor.
Yeah, fireball.
I'm glad you have the most interesting things to do.
18.
18 does just hit.
Oh,
For 12
rolled a 10.
more points of damage. As the
Emma.
fire blasts against the creature. Okay. Ravenna, turn 3 of your rage, your brother bleeding out on the ground. What would you like to do?
I don't have anything to heal him or help him. So I don't have anything.
Okay.
So I will see him dying on the ground and I will attempt to attack again.
Okay.
Even more angry.
More angry.
More angry!
24 does find the mark
I'm Dido, by the way.
for 9.
And then I will use my pole arm bonus.
Yep. For 23, that does hit for another 9.
I would just need my brother to go down.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Apparently,
Okay.
the rage only builds once Svartal's on the ground.
Yeah.
Poor
Who
guy.
knew? And that will
Yeah, only movement
that
remains.
will end my turn.
The knight readies his blade once again, flaring with purple flame. My lord commands me. Slay all who oppose. I must follow. Follow him north, to the place of dishonor. The city of lost names. He will slash 3 times. One for each of our characters still standing next to him here. First for Reyna is a 20. Second for Ravenna is a 27. Third for Razik is 19.
I will impose disadvantage on it, Joel, if I can.
That 19 is a 20.
I will impose protection on Ravenna.
27 becomes 27.
Joel, I will reaction cast shield on myself.
Okay, your reaction cast shield to meet the 19. Because that is the
I got my
disadvantage.
AC's 20 now.
Correct. So you reaction cast shield to eat the last of these here. The blade slamming against the magically conjured shield. You avoid 20 points of necrotic damage.
Well, that was
Coming
good.
back
That
to
was
the
good.
top, Reyna, 15 points of necrotic damage. Ravenna, 13 points of necrotic damage. Ravenna, I
have a question. I have a thing
Yep.
called Relentless Endurance.
Yep.
So I basically will just go down to 1 hit point
If
I'm reading that
not
correctly.
use this in the last fight?
No, because I realized when I went down I had that the whole
You
time
had
and
it.
I was like
Okay,
I should have
couldn't
used
remember
it.
if it was the same or
Yeah.
not.
I'm
Okay.
pretty because I remember looking at it. I'm like, oh no, I had this. I should have used it.
So you will drop to 1
Okay.
rather than to 0. Okay. Svartal, I need another death save.
11.
Plus the 1 for being in the aura is 12. That is a success.
Yay.
Razik.
Game's easy.
Game's
Hey,
easy.
Joel.
Yes.
I'm just going to hit him some more again if I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 20.
20 will find the mark. For
Kitty!
14.
Sorry.
I know. It's Maple.
15.
She's all over. 15, unfortunately, does miss, but that 14 slashing damage does a great deal from the first strike there to the knight. The rend will just miss at 17.
Oh dear. That's it for me.
Okay. Reyna, barely clinging on to life. What would you like to do?
With my free action, I'm gonna say to the Knight of Solamnia, I'm gonna, in my deliriousness of my last 3 hit points, just try to like reason with it and be like, fellow knight, why do you fight us? Who is your lord?
I do as Lord Soth commands.
Lord Soth, S-O-T-H.
S-O-T-H. This is the same Lord Soth we've heard about, I don't know, a lot over the last 6 hours of play.
What? 6 hours? Huh?
Yeah, right? Yes, S-O-T-H. Lord
That kind
Soth.
of is like 6 seconds. I feel like I can't really say much more as much as I want to. So, slash away.
Okay.
Pew.
13 will miss. 23 does just find the mark here. 5. Okay.
And that's it.
Talonor.
Yes. Firebolt's working pretty well so far.
It is.
Broken, don't fix it. 23.
It's gonna give a +9 bonus to hit, which is
For fire.
pretty-
Fire for 8 fire, even.
pretty wild. Yeah,
Full
8
fire, full
fire
spell.
damage. Done there. You watch as the knight somewhat buckles here. You hear this hiss of pain, a sharp intake of breath where it shouldn't be possible because he doesn't have lungs. But it does still seem that this ancient knight feels every bit of what you were doing.
He's just a method actor.
That's what it is. Talonor, anything else? You have bonus action and movement remaining. Talonor,
Right,
should
look
you
at what
like
I
to
can
use it?
do. No, I'm gonna hold it for now.
Ravenna,
I'll end my turn.
physically too angry to die. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hit him again.
Yeah, all right. This comes to a point. 21 absolutely does hit. We come to a point where everyone's like fully spent on all of their abilities. And it just becomes a beat-down brawl because there's nothing else to do. You deal 10 points of damage. An 11 on the polearm bonus does miss. The knight buckles again. His knees hit the ground before he leans on his flaming blade to get back up. He is very injured. Ravenna, that is action. Bonus action. Turn 4 of rage.
And darn it, I already used my action surge. That's right. Oh, I should have used one of my combat or superiority dice. I forgot to do that. I will hold my glaive and I will seeth at him and I will say, "That was for my brother."
He gets up from the ground there.
No, stay down.
Sweeps the blade across in a violent arc. You will join him soon. Reyna, a 27 to hit. Ravenna, a 21 to hit. Taking into account that you're probably going to impose the disadvantage there, Reyna, you probably drop, so there's no way to do that. 21 hits on Ravenna, and a natural 20 at 28 for Razik. I assume we're going to be doing that disadvantage jam
Yes, please.
with your little guy there. Okay. 28 becomes a 24. Not a crit, but still
Okay.
a hit. Reyna goes down from the first blow, taking 11 points of damage. The second attack against Ravenna deals 15 points of damage. She drops to the ground. Razik, 16 points of damage.
Oh, that's my HP, you son of a gun!
It is indeed the exact amount
You gotta put the blood back in.
before
No.
Razik drops. The knight
Oh no.
will take the attack of opportunity from little Brash Brush if you wish. Well, Brash Brush already used his reaction. There is no reaction.
He did.
To stalk across the enemies to reach forward at Talonor. Lumbering, limping, pieces of its leg and arm are broken open. You watch as its left arm hangs limply by its side. What do you want to do? first thing we're gonna do.
I mean, I did say
Svartal?
it would be nice if you didn't make a move.
Svartal, death save. Svartal is now
11.
successfully completed all 3 death saves and is stable. Razik, death save. That is a natural 1. That is 2 failures.
Zeke,
I
come
do
on.
believe my Steel Defender gets to make a move on my turn independently.
Um,
I'm pretty sure it does. I could double check it though.
Battlesmith feature. I know, now I gotta go all the way through this thing.
I know, I'm trying to find it myself. I should be ready.
Only action it takes on its turn is a dodge action unless you take a bonus action on its turn to
If
command
you're
it.
incapacitated, it can do any action of its choice.
Yep. Any action of its choice, which is interesting because it's a robot.
It has
I feel like it would be like, Master, you've gone down. I will kill the thing.
I'm free.
I'm
Oh,
free!
never mind.
Runs away.
I'm free!
Run away!
Alright. I mean, maybe this will hit. 22!
A 22 does hit.
Hey.
For
Damage total.
6. How does Brass Brush kill the knight?
Yes! Yes! Eat shit!
You're trash. You're trash.
Well, I
How does
guess
Brass Brush
it
win?
would leap up onto the knight's back and clamp its jaws around its skull and just like like a dentist getting a tooth out of the mouth, where it like rocks them from side to side. It does that on his skull and just rips off his spine.
Rips off the spine and the head, and the fire immediately leaves the eyes and dims all the way down. And you watch as the night falls, the purple cataclysmic flame also fades from around the room.
Have I told you that I love that little guy?
He's pretty useful.
Holy cow.
Oh, fuck. Well, this is a good situation to be in.
Hey guys, what's up?
Who do I want to try and save before everyone else dies?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
How's it going? Just hanging out? Yeah, me too. Okay, cool.
Just
How's the
hanging
weather?
out.
Yeah.
So Talinor, as
So-
as the night like falls here, cataclysmic flames fading around, you note that you are the last standing amongst your friends. What would you like to do?
I'm going to assume I don't have... It's a little bit meta-y. I assume I don't have long before... I can do one thing before death rolls happen, right?
You get one
So-
action.
Yeah, so...
Later.
Talnor doesn't know what people's spell slots are and shit. I do know Reyna can heal people. I can only stabilize them anyway, but I would run over and try to medically assist Reyna. I'm not good at medicine. This might not go well.
You run over to Reyna and you look down and you can see now, because it's the first time you've been close enough to see what wounds are being left by the blade, right? So you see this stab wound into her side, just this necrotic black flesh eating away at her body still.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I will try to stabilize with a medicine check if I can.
You can try.
I mean, I don't know what else to do. I have no healing magic or anything. So
Doesn't he know stuff about like necromancy or something? Isn't he like super?
I don't know
aren't
how
you
to
like
heal
super
it.
smart?
I don't know how to stop it.
Necromancy means they gotta be
That's
dead.
a 3, Joel.
That
That's a
is
3.
a
That means I saved 3 characters.
3. That is
Yeah.
exactly what
Characters.
that means. That is a 3. You look down at the necrotic energy. It still feel like you can see the purple flames eating away at her body, and you just don't know what to do.
No.
Ravenna, I need a death save.
Do my failures reset from my
So when you
less
became
brush
Yeah.
of death?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So when you were brought back to consciousness, it's a full reset.
Excellent. Cool. Let me
Yes. Otherwise, people would already be dead.
yeah. So anyways, I'm just gonna
That is a failure at a 4. Svartal, you are stable. There is nothing else for you to do here.
Taking a nap.
Razik has already rolled a natural 1. Should he fail one more time, Razik will die. I need a death save.
Joel. Oh, sh. Oh!
12. 1 success. Reyna. You've already succeeded 1 time, but we have now come back around. An 8 is a failure. At this point, Talonor, as you're like looking down at Reyna here, you note that as time passes and you look at the rest of your friends, you're like, I can't, what do I do? What do I... The necrosis stops eating away at them. The purplish flames fade away a little bit there, and it seems like a more normal wound.
Yeah, okay.
As a round has passed. So what would you like to do?
I'm not particularly good at that either, but okay,
Fireball
realizing that I suck at...
Cauterize it.
Fireball, fuck it, let's go. I realize that I suck at medicine, and I am going to instead... Could I, like... I don't know if I need to roll investigation or whatever. Could I, like, rummage around on Reyna, that sounds bad, to see if she has, like, any healing potions or any healing
So this
equipment
is a good note. We talked about this a long time ago, and I talked about it in session series and stuff like that. If you have potions as adventurers and warriors and things like that, they're generally an easy reach, which is why we use bonus action for healing potions should you have them. And in a party like this, when you're always facing danger, your party members know where you keep that stuff, because that's the only way they can help you. So that being said, does anyone have visible healing implements or potions on their person that Talonor can immediately see or would know about?
I do not.
Guys, come on. No, anyone? Healing potion? Anyone?
Razik does not.
I used mine
Ravenna
already
does not.
on another one. Like,
Reyna
I don't
does
rem-
not.
Yeah,
Smartle
oh
does
god.
That's item number 1 on Talonor's list of great ideas. Crossed out.
Wait,
So-
what does Svartle have, like, potion wise? Didn't he have like a special potion or something?
I've got like a green brown one.
I drink that. No.
It has a skull and crossbones on it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because time is of the essence,
Mhm.
I would, seeing that or knowing that even, I would probably try to stabilize Reyna again. Because I have, Talonor's panicking at this point. He doesn't know what to do, right? I would, I'd like, realizing that, I would try to stabilize Reyna again. And desperate. Now that the wound has changed, I feel like I'd have another go at it, you know?
Okay.
That's an 18.
18. As you stuff the wound full of gauze that you could find.
Just stuff.
Just stuff.
Gravel.
You think you've stabilized Reyna, right? Like, as far as Talonor knows, like, this is all I've got. This is what I do. I hope for the best that it's done.
Okay. We did it.
Ravenna. Another death save.
Okay.
It's a failure on a 5. Brings your total to 2 failures. Svartle is stable. Again, we come around to Razik, who, if he does fail on a coin flip of a roll, dies.
Is there anything my Steel Defender can do to help me? Or anything like that,
So
Joel?
what are the actions that the Steel Defender has?
I mean, it just has regular actions, I guess, that a regular creature would have, if that makes sense. Like, it can use that. It could use the help action.
Sure. He can help.
But I don't think it can help me with a death save, can it? I don't think that's something the help action can do.
I don't think that's there. It can help
It pulls out
another
its
creature
little paddles.
do an action. But I don't think it has the capability of helping you death save, nor does it know how to medicine.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll just roll the dice then, eh? Here we go.
I have faith in you. That's a 9.
Oh.
That is 1 below the necessary number.
Wait, is he in my bubble? Is he in the bubble? He's in the bubble.
Does
Plus
the bubble,
1.
Does the bubble persist?
It's a
I don't
persisting
think
bubble.
it does.
It's a persisting bubble. It is
It's a
just an aura that
persisting
I have.
bubble.
At 6th level, and whenever they're in my bubble. Plus 1. I have to be conscious. I'm kind of conscious now that I'm at 1
You're
hit point,
not
right?
conscious.
No, this is bullshit.
Yeah, you're not even. Yeah, you're not at 1 hit point. You're at 0, but stable.
I thought we were stable at 1 hit point. Oh, damn. Okay.
Which means you're not dying anymore.
Understood. I tried, buddy.
Razik
It's alright.
perishes. Talonor.
seeing Razik probably stop breathing or, do some sort of death throw, I would turn around to the little metal thing and yell at it to do something. And hopefully that would inspire it to help me. I don't know if he can right now, but actually I don't think
Sure.
he can because he has to take his turn after Razik, which is not now. Anyway, yeah, I mean, seeing Razik die, I would just even more panic, try to stabilize Ravenna as well.
Okay.
12.
12 is successful.
Eh.
Ravenna is stable.
When it becomes obvious that no one is
Oh,
dying
God.
around me so much, I'm going to slump to the floor and start swearing.
Talonor, roll me a perception
Oh,
check.
Oh, fuck.
And then says, fuck. I love it.
16.
The brazier behind you, as you slump against
Oh,
it,
fuck off. If he stands up, Joel.
flares to life. And you look at these flames. You feel some knowledge of them. It's been made mention by the visions and the night of the undead that you just fought. These are the flames of the end of the world. When the cataclysm occurred, this was the fire that consumed the land. You also note it seems to have some magical properties. Talonor, your friend Razik, his body lying on the floor, lifeless. You look towards the night, the collapse of the armor, skull ripped off. You make a bit of a connection on the capability of this cataclysmic flame.
Ooh, necromancy time. I wouldn't use the flame, to be honest. It's too... Talonor would be thinking it's, like, far too, dangerous both to himself because of being involved in the Order of Mages and potentially dangerous to Razik as well, because he saw that thing was like a slavering, immortal madman who seemed bound to a purpose, and he doesn't think it's fair to inflict that on Razik either.
Okay. So Razik lies dead on the ground. Your other three compatriots, mortally wounded, though stable. And you lie slumped against the brazier. They remain unconscious for a long time. What do you want to do, Talonor, as you take a moment to breathe?
Oh, I mean, I would be 100% like entering a elven meditation trance, because at this point, it doesn't matter if something finds him down there, because he is so exhausted, he is dead anyway if it happens. So he would be desperately trying to rest while as soon as he's confident that his companions are hopefully going to wake up soon. Yeah, he would be trying to rest via trance.
Okay. A little earlier than I expected, but we'll take our break here. And the party will return when they are conscious and see what happens to Craig in the off time here. We'll be right back.
Sure.
Great, come back as this guy.
So, welcome back, everyone, to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. We have just suffered a poignant loss. And Talonor, as you attempt to rest here, unfortunately, you will never make it to the 4 hours of which you need or desire.
God damn it.
Because your friends begin to wake up. The first of which is Svartal, the first of who fell. An hour passes, Talonor, into your trance, and then you hear Svartal waken. Svartal, what do you do?
I likely sound like I'm a half orc-ish tree shredder.
What?
Just and probably spitting up some blood and spit and all kinds of stuff. And he gets up. He's very groggy, and his eyes sort of widen, I guess, when he sees Reyna sitting there, kind of messed up, and seemingly just out. I would assume that he wouldn't necessarily notice Talonor maybe in the trance. So he'd kind of freak out and be like, why am I still alive? Did everybody die? And he'd sort of shuffle over to Reyna. I don't know if he'd know how to check a pulse, but he'd do something. He'd kind of nudge her.
Yeah.
To see if
you nudge
see if there
her
was a
and
dead.
she winces and kind of groans a little bit. It seems that she is still out for the time being. You note the rise and fall of your sister's chest as she is there, wounds stuffed with bandages, kind of haphazardly, definitely without any particular skill.
But I can tell that they're both alive, right?
And and you can tell.
So yeah,
for
so
certain.
they're not just limped. And then I do the same thing to Razik, Spotty.
Yeah, you note that it seems Razik has been in the same position of which he fell on the dais steps here, the foot of the statue of the dragon. Body bled out into a thick pool of blood onto the ground. You note next to the brazier, however, there is Talonor, eyes closed, kind of mumbling to himself probably, and in a bit of a trance.
I think he would yell at Talonor to try to get him out of the trance to, and with some urgency to be like, hey, we have to help him. Hey.
I'd open my eyes and glance up at him and back at Razik, and I'd just say, he's dead, Svartal. There's no helping him.
He'd probably ignore that because that sounds stupid to him. That's a dumb thing to say. I don't know why you'd ever say that. And he'd start kind of shaking Razik, and then because he has such a large diaphragm, would yell really, really loud, just kind of in his direction to something. With he's got 1 HP, so probably not as loud as he could possibly be because he's hurt, but. Yeah, he'd yell very loud.
Yelling loudly at the limp body of Razik, head kind of lolling backwards here. Svartal, you come covered in what is like kind of somewhat thickly sticky, somewhat dried blood now, having coagulated over the last hour or so. Razik does not respond. Despite your yelling and despite your shaking, there is no response. The yell just reverberates in the cavern and then dissipates.
Having probably no energy left, he'd, half collapse right next to him.
Yeah. Collapse into the pool of blood left behind by Razik's body, and realize that there is nothing that you can do for him. Talonor is now awake-ish. Probably against his will here, but there's the two of you.
Grimly forwards.
Yeah, the two of you are here. Awake.
For the record, he would start kind of large cat purring to comfort himself and I guess Razik's soul.
Talonor, do you do anything else while you kneel and observe?
No, not really. He's sort of in his own thoughts at the moment.
Svartal, is there anything else that you want to do, or?
No, I think he would sort of do what he's done. Like, people have never really there's not really been much death people-wise around him in his life, other than, obviously what brought us, what brought Ravenna and him together, or back together, I guess, again. But he would do essentially what he would do out in the wild, which is, try to stay with, and something maybe he's learned from Bay spirits and whatnot. He would stay with the body until he felt like everything had passed appropriately.
Reyna and Ravenna stir somewhat at the same time, another 30 minutes after, where Svartal, having unmoved, holding Razik's body on the dais, Talinor lost in his own thoughts, 1,000-yard stare, the paladin and our fighter awaken, in pain, but alive.
Ravenna will see Svartal and she will begin to kind of like hobble over to him, maybe like drag herself, and she will put a hand on his shoulder and squeeze it tightly, but won't say anything.
Reyna, again, you look around the room, noting Svartal, noting the fallen form of Razik, and you get the idea of what's happening here. Both of you had fallen unconscious before knowing the end result of this. You see the fallen form of the undead knight, and you realize that at least Talinor was able to survive. It seems Razik did not.
Taking in the scene of the room, Reyna would also shuffle over to Ravenna and Svartal, placing very carefully like a hand on Razik's chest just to confirm. They already know, but just to feel the lack of pulse and just say, "Oh, Razik." He watches Reyna bows her head in deep, solemn prayer, uttering a prayer to... This is like the first time you'd actually hear her utter her god's name. Paladine, please watch over his spirit and guide him to safety to the afterlife.
Feel a warmth in the amulet that you hold, but no more. No guiding magical light, no well of power to draw from. You feel it yourself. You're exhausted. There's nothing more you can do for your friend, but there is still things you can do for the ones that live around you. There is still more to be done. Kalaman is in danger. Something happened here that needs to be solved. And danger has not left the area. You're reminded of the Red Dragon army bearing down only 30 miles west of Kalaman City proper. And whoever this Lord Soth was, Reyna, multiple knights of Solamnia brought back from the dead to do this thing. To kill your friend. To kill the governor. Razik has fallen, and there is time for him to be remembered. There is also a need to keep going. Or more will end up like him. You find yourself in this tomb. Looking about, you finally get to see some of the details of it. The large tomb to the east with the lid smashed open. You see finally the plaque upon it. It says, Zanas Sarlamir, Knight of the Crown. Looking more closely at the draconic statue, you see where there was likely once a spear or some kind of lance embedded into its head, seemingly removed. Reminded again of the last flash of the vision that you saw of that, presumably, Lord Soth. You look towards the fallen undead knight, this Sarlamir, the blade he was wielding. The armor, a perverted look at what a Knight of the Rose would wear. Skull-shaped pauldrons, tarnished silver. Those of you that are alive or conscious, it's time to make decisions. What do you want to do?
I mean, I don't know what Sparta would even think to do, but he would obviously carry Razik wherever we went.
Ravenna will stand and she will glare at where her friend fell, and she will say to herself, but out loud, we will not let his memory be forgotten. I will not waste a breath until you are avenged. And then she basically, like, pounds her fist into her chest as if making, like, a proclamation. And then she turns and heads towards the exit.
What is Brass Brush doing in this moment?
Brass Brush would likely have just been observing, watching. It seems a bit confused. It's hard to, it's a robot. It doesn't show confusion, but it's inert. It's still. It has no orders, no master, nothing to control it. It just waits.
This is kind of just an instinctual response because it resembles so much like an animal. I think Reyna would lean down in this moment and if you've played Baldur's Gate 3, reach out to Scratch and be like, hey,
hey, buddy. Brass Brush, unlike
until it tries to bite your
dog.
ankle.
Yeah,
kick it over the cliff. Sorry.
Unlike a living dog, does not respond in the same way.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Roll me an insight check.
It's the wrong page. There we go. Insight.
6. Just does not respond. You're not sure how to get Brass Brush to do anything. It's always been Razik's thing. Don't know how to make it respond.
Does it at least follow Razik?
It's been by him.
Like his body?
Yeah, like when Svartle's like picking it up and carrying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will follow Svartle. As
Okay.
Svartle like moves.
Okay. Good. I mean, but good.
Respectfully, he won't kick it, but
Yeah, don't do that. Brass Brush just won for you, okay?
sure.
Talonor,
Okay.
your friends are up. They're moving. Svartle has gone to reach for Razik, and it seems that they are making their way ready to leave this chamber.
Yeah,
there
I
anything
would
last that you'd
stand
wanna
up
do?
and sort of silently follow behind them.
Before we leave, though, it's just this is curiosity on Reyna's part. While they were gathering and getting ready to leave, Reyna would have been looking at all of these like tombs and the details and if there's any inscriptions, any writing relating to the Knights of Solamnia.
Yeah. Much like many of the tombs that you have seen before in this area, each one bears the name of an ancient knight of Solamnia. Most of them are Order of the Rose here. I think all in this room are Order of the Rose. But yeah, like the sealed off ones you saw from previous, from the Room of Knights from before, each one of these tombs bears a plaque with the name of a knight of Solamnia. As you make your way, deciding where to leave, perhaps you look to the broken south wall where the vision ended, that ancient knight of Solamnia tearing through the southern exit. Looking out that direction, you would see the passage emerges 80 feet up a sheer cliff beneath the walls of Castle Kalaman. Below are paved streets and the rooftops of buildings. There's no sign of the man you saw in the visions. There is the signs of the people of Kalaman below. Be wiser to trek our way back through the tomb. Would we do so through the door or back through the holes of which we rushed through?
Is it safe to assume that all those baddies we were fighting pretty much evacuated, or?
Also, did we get a short rest at all, or are we just going?
You have not had a short rest. Being unconscious does not constitute a rest.
Correct, but I just realized we're picking up Razik's body and we're just going.
As of right now, that is what is happening. Talonor would have been able to get a short rest if needed, but had chosen to start the 4-hour trance process of a long rest. The rest of you were unconscious. Svartle, in the intervening 30 minutes, would not even have had enough time for a short rest, much less was he doing anything to patch himself up. So no, all of you are still in the same state. If you choose to wait down
Ravenna's
here
not
another
looking for a
hour-
fight. She's just kind of like looking to get out of this creepy place and go like topside.
Okay.
So that's why I was just like, is it safe to assume that like the way we came would be safer, or because it's
Don't
pretty much just dead bodies, I believe.
Reyna's vote would be known ground versus unknown ground. So yes,
Yeah.
back the way we came.
That's what Ravenna was thinking.
You walk back through the holes in the wall of the catacombs, passing by the chambers adorned with sculptures, bodies in repose, the weapon racks from before, the locked tombs of Solamnic knights. Back to the stairs upwards. Climbing out of the catacombs and back to the council chamber room, you would note that there are people here. They're attendants of the castle. Normally, your maids and butlers and people who deal with the day-to-day. Most of them stand still, shock and horror on their faces as they look around the room. They see you enter. Some jump with surprise. Others, drop their cleaning implements. And you note that some of the bodies have been removed from the room already. A nervous man from the side. Oh, yes, I recognize you. What happened here? What has happened? The governor's dead. The merchants' guilds. Who are these men? They wear Solamnic armor. And he sees Reyna wearing Solamnic armor and lurches backwards. Someone says, you! Why would the Knights of Solamnia do this?
She holds it out.
Immediately hands up.
Yeah, she holds out one hand to him to calm down. And she's using her glaive as a walking stick at this point, trying to keep herself up. She's not one of them. You've been infiltrated. And she, kind of hands around obviously. Men dressed as Solamnic Knights.
That is a mighty cruel thing for them to do.
Well, they were mere corpses.
Do you know where Marshal Vendry is?
Do we know where Marshal Vendry is?
Marshal Vendry was part of another detachment of forces that went also westward, just to a different location than where Darrett and his force went.
Okay,
They should all be returning.
I will relay that message that they should be returning, hopefully soon, but at the moment we need to focus on the task at hand, which is basically accounting for all the dead. And she will be saying that as she goes over and even if it's bloody or whatever, she's just gonna pull up one of the chairs that was at the table where they were all dead at, and she's just gonna sit down in it. As she's saying, we need to account for all of the dead, as she's hobbling over there with her glaive as a walking stick.
And he nods, and so do the others around the room. Yes, we've already... Well, the entire castle is a mess. There are many dead. But we've started trying to keep track and take names of the ones that we did know. It's going to take a while to sort through.
Who do you know that is alive and is the closest
Do not say Buckalvis.
to in charge?
Marshal Vendry. That would be the only person left in charge if she is alive.
And if she kind of pauses. And if she is not, who is next in line?
He looks around the room at the dead bodies. I actually do not know. It would be one of the other lords or ladies of the land, but I'm not sure who's... Well, we need to find out who's dead first.
She nods her head.
Yeah.
I understand. And then she's trying to... She then holds the glaive in front of her while she's in the chair and leans forward, trying to get a breath. Gather the dead. Account for who is not with us now. And prepare for burial services.
Yeah. As you say that, he looks to the body in Svartal's arms.
Yeah.
And what are we to do with this one? Or did you have something in mind?
He is our responsibility. And we will bury him ourselves.
Okay.
But if you can spare anyone that you know that is versed in medicine or otherwise. If you could
Yes.
bring them.
Yes. We can send a runner. Looks over. Can someone send someone to Wyans and perhaps the other apothecaries around town? It seems that we need any help we can get. Yes. Your rooms seem to be fine. Weren't even disturbed. If you'd like to return to them to rest, Yeah. Looks a bit lost for words.
Send another runner if you can to the guards at the gates.
Yes.
No knights of, and she looks at Reyna. No other knights of Solamnia are allowed to enter.
Right. Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Yes. And
Just for now.
they'll send another. This leaves you to the castle. Do you wish to return to your rooms for the time being? Or is there anywhere else you'd wish to go?
What's on the table?
What is on the table?
Bloody
Besides
food.
Blood
Okay.
and stuff. Like, is there like paperwork and stuff? Like plans? Like.
Yeah, so the table, when we arrived, they were working on it was the merchant guilds. So
Yeah.
the governor was having a meeting with the merchant guilds, as he often does, to discuss various different trade things, and most likely during this, in a times of war, they were getting an accounting of what material would be available if Kalaman had to go through a prolonged siege, and if they had to close their ports and trade routes. So the documentation that is currently on the table, splattered in blood, is basically just accountings of available rations, available foods, how long it would last, how long Kalaman could withstand a siege, with and without naval blockade, with and without overland blockades, etc.
If there's anybody nearby, she will like tap her finger on one of the papers on the table and say, "Save these. Do not discard them."
Right. Yes, of course.
The next person in charge might need them.
Yeah.
And she looks at Reyna. And you should probably. And she like looks at the armor.
First thought, yes. Changing and then possibly rest and then
Sure.
whatever comes next.
So you head back to your Kalaman quarters.
She looks at Svartal. Do you wish to bury him now?
Yeah. Why not? Why wait? Even though he's not, I guess, bleeding anymore, but he's covered. He's head to toe covered in just dried blood. And he looks worse for wear, but yeah, he wouldn't want to delay this anymore.
She nods and says, "I thought so."
Where would
she
you
will-
want to do this?
And she's gonna ask Svartal, "Where?"
Well, we should go to.
I was gonna say far outside the gate where we have this camp established, which is like all the way through the city, right?
Well, yeah, I mean.
You're talking about the people of Vogler? Yeah, they're outside the city.
Yeah, that's the thing. We would want to probably notify, what's his name? Dan.
Dan is in the castle.
Oh yeah, well then that's all
Dan?
I think.
And Tatina
He would care
Rukeldust have quarters in the castle. A castle that has just been assaulted.
Yeah, so then in that case, the location wouldn't matter to him. All that would matter to Svartal is that Van was there. That sentence, you know what I mean.
Dan was there. Mm-hmm.
Should we? Is it possible for us to like start walking out like to the exit of the castle, and see if there's somebody nearby to ask for like at least like a horse and a cart?
I think you could just make the request to the attendants that were here.
She didn't want to give the couple attendants like too much orders, like this and this and this and this and this and that.
They seem relieved that someone is taking charge of the situation
Okay.
because all of their leaders are dead or gone. So having someone give them direction to do something seems like, yes, we're doing what the heroes would have told us to do. We feel like this is the right thing. Yeah, I mean, so a cart and a horse would be simple enough to acquire.
I don't think Svarta would care too much about
I know Svarta doesn't care, but like,
He's just like, give me the things I need now.
So she'll go and she'll ask for a horse and a cart.
Okay.
So then that way it'd be easy. We don't have to walk all the way, like out to the gates or whatnot. She'll ask Reyna before Reyna changes if she wants to meet us there.
Yes, I'll find a horse and make my way there immediately after changing.
Then she will look at Sparkle Fingers and just like do the head bob, like, yo, what are you doing?
This? Yeah, what are we doing?
Like, what's next?
I'll step back here and say, I think it's best if I retire for a rest now.
She nods.
And I will walk off.
Okay, so you return to the quarters?
Yes, although I think I'm staying in the castle, so I don't want to stay.
Correct. That is Kalaman Castle quarters that you guys
right,
have
yeah, sorry,
here.
my quarters. Yes, correct.
Yes. That is the same location Reyna would be going to swap the armor for just plain clothes if you were planning to do that. Okay? So you two go that
So apologies. Not necessarily to my room, forgive me. I would ask one of the attendants, as you can tell, I need to change. Is there a small armory, or are we close to some quarters that I can go to acquire a new suit of armor? One more appropriate.
Islamic armor not appropriate. I suppose in the castle it's a bit odd. Yes,
Right now it's more of
the full barracks is here at the castle. I can take you there.
if you could, if you're not too busy.
He looks around. We have a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, he'll take you if you wanted to. What they would outfit you with is not going to be like full plate. It's going to end up just being like a chainmail Kalaman city guard. Like,
Better than nothing.
yeah, so you'll be dressed as a Kalaman soldier. Okay, Talinor, you return to your rooms alone, and you plan to just trance and rest.
Yes, I would pretty immediately go into a trance for about 4 hours or so. I wouldn't be staying in my room.
Maybe let out a little cry.
And I would probably re-emerge once my trance was finished to see what was going on.
So 4 hours from now.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
having a little cry.
We'll see about that.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
I think it's fast enough that Reyna, with some assistance and them securing a cart, you'd be able to join Ravenna and Svartal on their trek out to the trade gate. The scene inside the castle and the scene outside the castle are stark in comparison. The people out here have no idea what happened inside. It's a day as normal. Leaning into the afternoon now. People are going about their jobs as usual. None of them know the governor of the city is dead. We take the cart for Zeke's body. We head to the trade gate. You would definitely be questioned by the gate guards, much like you were on entry, on seeing who you are. However, the questions kind of fall off quickly, and looks of concern pass over. Is Razik uncovered in the cart?
No. She doesn't let him touch him.
No, uncovered.
But
As
vis-
in
Oh, no,
his
no,
face
covered.
and
No, we
armor
cover-
and
we
weapon
cover.
visible.
We put
Okay.
like a sheet or whatnot to cover because we don't want people looking.
Okay. Exit the trade gate to the 3 former warehouses that are now occupied by the Vogler refugees. The ones that remain. Most of
we
them
will-
are conscripted soldiers at this point.
We will go ahead and try and find what's his name?
Van.
Van.
Once again, Van and Tatina Rukeldust have rooms at the castle.
Oh,
Yeah,
Said it a couple of
mentioned-
times.
I was just gonna say. Oh yeah.
I
was just
mentioned
gonna
we
say,
would have
yeah.
we would have
That's- you
notified
did,
them
yeah.
before we left.
We would have told them. Yeah. I'm sorry. I
So
totally.
you would go to
Woo!
try and see them at the castle?
Yeah, we would have tried to at least like had somebody go get them if they knew like their whereabouts, or at least tell them to meet us.
I think Reyna would have grabbed them after dressing. In fact, you know, she would have been changing and then gone to grab Fan and them. Very like walks into the room. It's very kind of depressing. Just like, hey, can you?
Cool. Yeah, you
Come
go
with
down
us.
to their room. You note that the door is smashed open and the entirety of their laboratory is trashed.
What? So I'm walking in like, hey, so
And they are not there.
Oh no! Why?
okay, so instead of Reyna just like la 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 la, we're gonna go to Rizzy's funeral. It's like doo, 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 on like horseback, like shit.
And this feeling calling in the air tonight.
Oh
I asked
no!
if you wanted to go see them or not while we were at the castle.
I don't know why I didn't. I'm just like.
I thought
I know you.
mentioned
I know
that we
you.
would get
No,
them.
you did. You mentioned.
okay.
You mentioned them.
You go
I just
tearing out of the castle, Reyna, to go find a cart and a horse making their way towards the trade gate. In the day of no one around you knowing what's happening, you come skidding to a stop next to your compatriots and you say what?
We have a problem. Fan is gone. Their entire lab is torn apart. And also, apologies. What is the little kindred's name?
Oh, we don't know about her. We have no idea where she is.
Oh,
I was
okay,
saying,
understood.
Tatina
Just
Rukeldust
Van.
and Van, that is their rooms, their chambers, their what's it called? Their laboratory that was given to them beneath Castle Kalaman. It's below the barracks. And yeah, and
Was there any blood when you looked, or was it just
she
so?
didn't. So
oh
what
yeah.
I've gotten so far is I walked in, I saw the mess. They are not there. I go riding out of the castle. Right. So
Ravenna
no
will-
investigation
Ravenna-
has been done here.
Ravenna will say, "Did you see any blood?"
Oh gosh, muted. Can I use my passive perception in the moment or make an intelligence?
What is your
check?
passive perception?
My passive perception is 13.
13. The room was trashed. Was there potentially blood? Maybe. You were in and out very quickly. And there was no sign of the 2 gnomes.
There were no signs and there were no large pools of blood. Everything was in complete disarray.
Yeah, there was no gnome-sized corpses either. I think that, we should specify
No
that.
dead bodies.
There's no dead bodies.
So I would like to believe that they are alive and relatively unharmed, but they are nowhere to be seen.
Can I call over? Can I make an announcement? Call over all the
Make an announcement.
basically the people have been conscripted as soldiers from our from our people, Dan's people essentially.
I was gonna say, aren't they gone though? Like,
They're all gone.
yeah,
Oh,
they're
I
gone.
thought there was some out here still.
No, there's the people.
No.
There's only a couple
people
that
that
are
are
remaining that didn't get conscripted.
Left.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I would call them over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
so the
soldiers.
person that would respond to this once we get outside the trade gate and you're over here with all of the people from Vogler that remain, which is basically the elderly, children, and Mayor Raven. That's about everyone that's left from Vogler here. So Mayor Raven would be the one that first responds to this. I'm assuming we would be like somewhere a bit outside of these warehouses because we're trundling off with, now we have 2 horses and a cart here and a body. So you just shout for Mayor Raven?
Sure.
Okay. She would arrive. And she'd be like, what is going on here? What's happening?
Ravenna at this point, as Svartal's going to talk, she like hobbles because she's still
Yeah, you're
doing
both
pretty
still
bad.
you're both still fucked up.
She's
Yeah, yeah.
hobbling, using her glaive as a cane, and she goes to the back of the cart, and she just rips off the sheet.
Yeah. Mayor Raven's eyes would go wide. You see tears beginning to well up there. And she just, how? Why? How?
She throws the
Where's Talonor?
blanket or whatever. He's resting. He needs it.
She looks at everyone. You all look like you need rest, but why?
We have bigger problems.
How are you riding through town with his body? What happened?
We were going to give him a proper burial. However,
Out here?
as you may want to know, there are bigger problems.
The city was infiltrated by undead dressed as Solamnic knights.
Why are you bringing this to me? Where's the governor?
Because they're all dead. The governor is dead. All the tradesmen are dead. They slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered.
And you
In
first
their
thought
chairs.
was to come out here and bury a body. All right.
We have people on the inside cleaning up the mess. Nobody else is the wiser at the moment. No guards have been alerted that no more Solamnic knights are allowed to enter. That is why she is not wearing her armor.
I thought she had just maybe been conscripted and they made a change. All right.
I just like changing armor, to be honest.
Yeah, third armor change, one campaign.
The foes we encountered were undead.
I remember a column of Solamnic knights marching through. There was a bit of a holdup at the gate, but they eventually let them through.
They were the infiltrators.
Something did feel off.
How many have left
And
since
now,
they've entered?
and now Van is missing.
Was the full column? 12? They were led by a massive knight, a man, full plate, a mask of armor, and on his helm, you could barely see his eyes beneath. I don't even think I did. Wearing the regalia of the rose. He was carrying something, a lamp, a lantern. It was purple in flame. He rode out from town.
I know what that means. We need Talonor.
So, DM, you said 12 plus the main dude.
Hmm?
How many did we take down?
Not the
3.
guy in the mask.
There was
Ugh.
3 that you fought, and 3 that were already dead in the council room.
Understood. And how many did they say rode away?
12 plus the leader.
Math ain't mathin' for me. Am I just bad at math? Hold on.
Well, so 13
12
left.
go in, 12 come out.
She didn't specify how many went in. She said a column.
Oh, a column. How many's in a column, DM?
We'll go with whatever that math is plus the
Yes.
number of dead.
Math. Okay. Cool. It evens
It's like
out.
17,
That's all that
I don't know.
matters. My goal is to make
It-
sure there's not one random undead roaming around the city still.
You
Well,
handled
more-
that guy
more like-
as a ghost.
More what I was wondering was if they left with a carriage that they could have kidnapped people in. So then he would Svartal would attempt to, I guess he would try to convince them to, okay, we need to store this carriage, keep it safe, and we'll do a proper burial at some point in the future. We need to go back to the castle.
Not to metagame, but I do have a spell that will keep his body from decomposing.
I mean, I don't think that's a
You should
metagame. I think,
Probably just say that.
yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's a metagame.
I say it's metagaming because we just leveled up, but we kind of have it long rested, so I don't have access
You
to
have
the
it.
spell slot. Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Svartal.
Better than him rotting here.
if you are okay with this, I once we rest, I would have the ability to cast a spell on Razik's body that would prevent him from decomposing up to at least 10 days. Do you think that would give us plenty of time to figure out what we're doing?
To be honest, I don't think Svartle cares about decomposing.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the day.
Oh, okay.
Just a shrug.
Yeah, it's going to decompose in the ground anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, he would essentially look towards like the elderly around to be like, hey, can you guys care for this body for a little bit?
Yeah, Mayor Raven would absolutely be on board, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah. Is there a need to perhaps? Should anyone know that it's here? Does it matter that it's here?
What, the body? No.
Yeah. She like looks in the back of the cart here. Where is his belongings? His backpack, armor, weapons.
I would assume that they would be on his person because Svartle just like picked him up, and so I assume
from his like
So we're just
backpack
leaving
and
it all
stuff, I
there?
probably would have put it next to him because the plan was to give it to Than.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna take the stuff and then take it to Than if we can find him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not right now. No, I would leave it here. I don't. Is there a reason? Wait, is there a magical reason for us to take it? Is there anything
Ravenna
that we
would
need?
take. Ravenna would take.
Would you
his
like to
pack.
investigate his belongings?
Yeah, I was gonna say Ravenna would go to grab, because with the intent of like going to hand it off to Mayor, she'll pick it up and kind of like shake it and like look at it.
His bag?
Yeah, his bag.
Okay. Just tell me you opened the bag.
I opened the bag, DM.
Perfect.
Is it
Thank
trapped?
You.
Oh god.
It's not trapped.
It's complicated
Oh,
because
thank
like
goodness.
Svartle wouldn't. He wouldn't do these things. He wouldn't care.
Right. So like my question is like, what are we doing with his belongings? Because his belongings are technically important.
Well,
what is inside is a magical gem that he utilized to power all of his magic and the things that he built. So it's whether or not you find that important enough to leave here or take with you or deliver to Than if we ever find him.
The thought was like Ravenna would have the intention to give Razik's belongings to the mayor for like safekeeping, but before she's going to open to see if he's got like, anything useful, like a potion or something like that.
Does Razik
Which he
have
doesn't.
anything useful?
And then looks at it and sees a blue gem and picks it up and is like, brain,
Yeah. What you would find is a small bird carving that was picked up in the Festival of Vogler, a silver longsword, a great sword, herbalism kit, thieves' tools, crossbow, a winter blanket, scroll case stuffed full of notes, rations, water skin, rope, hammers, crowbars, a backpack, and an uncut gem crackling with energy.
Razik, do you got like a Mary Poppins bag? Like how?
Yes. Oh, I think I
How
lost
can you
everyone.
fit all that in there?
It's actually the Blu-ray of Uncut Gem.
When she opens it, she'll she'll rummage through it. She will see the gem, she will see the carving, and like the book, and kind of like pick it up, like pick up the book and like look at it. She'll put it back in the bag, and then like on second thought, she'll go ahead and she'll like put the bag on with the gem and the book and the carving in it, and like what she'll do is she'll give like the tools. She'll like give the swords to Reyna. Here. And then she will give the herbalism kit to Svartle to like offload some of the weight. And then she'll be like, please take care of him.
Yes, of course.
We're heading back now.
Right. She looks like a little confused, but I'm assuming we leave him in the horse and cart, or do we just offload the body?
Yeah, she will go
leave it to them.
Yeah, she will go get the blanket to like, pick it back up and set it on the cart. But she won't like cover his body.
Okay.
And then she will nod. If you see anything else suspicious, any Solamnic knights, any knights besides our own, even if they seem an ounce off, you find safety. Do not go after them.
I wouldn't dream
Do
of
not
it.
interact with them.
Right, of course. Okay. And yeah, and she and a couple of the elderly people that are still left here from Vogler will take the body and they'll move it into one of the warehouses here where they've been staying for safekeeping.
We ride!
We ride.
Back in the cart!
One of us is riding. Yeah, that's one of us is riding. We go
Everyone back in the
trundling back
car.
off to Castle Kalaman again through the throngs of people that still don't know what is happening.
You're all fools!
you're all
All
fools.
of you! All of you fools!
But before we get back to that, we're going to quick cut to Talonor, who can't catch a break. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You thought
no.
you were going to get away. You thought you were going to be allowed to have a trance rest right now?
God damn
Please.
it. It's 4 hours, Joel.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock myself in the bathroom at this point.
He's gonna be saying why and
Boy, you thought.
You thought about an hour into your trance, once again, there's a small knock on your door.
That's nice, Joel.
5 more minutes.
Is this Talonor or Connor I'm talking to? That's what I really want to know, because at
I
this
feel
point
like
it
they're
feels
I feel like
one
they're
and the
one
same.
in the same. I was gonna say, I feel like they're one and the same. They've always been the same. They've always been.
They've always been the same.
Alright, fine. I'll get off my bed and open the door. Not looking too happy about it.
Yeah, and not looking too happy across from you is Wyan. And she
Is that the
kind of
girlfriend?
pushes
Oh.
through you into the room, shutting the door
Girlfriend.
quickly behind her. Making me wait. I don't really enjoy that. She looks you up and down. You look like hell. What happened?
Oh, well, we fought some being, seemingly, spirit perhaps, called Caradoc, and then made our way into the catacombs under the castle. I don't even know if... Well, I imagine you probably know about those, but not sure how common knowledge they are.
Yes.
Razika's dead, by the way.
She pauses at that, and you feel a bit of her haughty nature kind of fall, and then she recomposes herself. I see. That is unfortunate. I had hoped to make use of him yet. There's things I needed to know about that gem he carried.
Hmm.
Do we still have
She
that?
did not.
I don't know. The others have taken his body, although I assume they would return his belongings to the group.
Find it regardless. Caradoc, you said? Are you sure?
That was his name. He certainly wasn't shy about introducing himself.
In the flesh, or...
Oh, no. Well, sometimes in Svartal's flesh and others. Yes, no, he was... I don't know too much about it, but some sort of malevolent spirit.
Yes, entirely, in fact, that. Caradoc, a seneschal of an old lord, former knight of Solamnia. Caradoc, the man, burned when a place called Dargard Keep was consumed in the fires of the Cataclysm, as with many of the Lord's retainers. Caradoc, like his lord, was cursed with undeath. They are
What's the name of the
tied
place?
to that. Dargard Keep.
Hmm. Yes, he seemed most
Was there-
reluctant to return when he was, I don't know, banished, called back, teleported,
Held.
not sure, but...
Without a
something
body
like
to inhabit, Caradoc, the knight, is pulled back to his home of Dargard Keep. It seems that you are lucky enough that it was still happening. Was he accompanied by anyone else?
that. Somebody did appear afterwards,
Oh,
but I don't think she was with him.
who?
Lidara? We met her in Vogler some time ago.
She
I
kind
don't
of
really know
frowns
anything
and
else
shakes
about
her
it, to
head.
be honest.
Do not know that name.
No, some of my traveling companions had spoken to her, but not myself. They seem to recognize her, though.
I'm specifically asking about someone else, a knight, another knight of Solamnia is how he would appear. Was he accompanied by a man? He would be wearing a full faceplate helm, his eyes unable to be seen, larger than life, wearing the regalia of the Knight of the Rose.
I've taken a few bumps, but I don't quite recall that. Perhaps my head was hit too hard.
As a brief reminder for all of my players, you saw this knight in the cataclysmic flames of visions that you saw during the catacombs.
Sure. No, I know that, but he wasn't accompanied by him, right?
He was not accompanied by him actively in the room with you.
As I said, no, he wasn't there with him. No, but in the catacombs, some visions perhaps were unveiled to us. As a group, I should mention, even the non-magical among us were receiving them.
What were they?
Quite a sad story, really. We saw a figure of some sort and his wife's eventual death at his hands, I believe. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I believe I do.
I think we met one of his friends down there as well.
Yes, the knight buried underneath the castle. Knight
That's the one.
Solomir,
Friendly chap.
former knight of the crown, wielder of a Dragonlance. He and his retinue were buried underneath Kalaman, and I, along with some others, were tasked with guarding the resting place. So one of the last locations of the cataclysmic fire was in a brazier underneath the castle.
Yes, that's there.
Is it still there?
As far as I know, I think we were the last people down there. That's where Razik died. This knight you named, the undead man who was buried. He's the one who cut down Razik. Karadoc was willing to not even fight us, but...
Did
Some
they
people had
mention
other
any other
ideas.
names? Solomir, Karadoc, did they speak of anything? Did they speak of any
Yes.
goals, plans?
A name has come up a couple of times, both in writing and I believe referenced, although the fight against the undead knight is somewhat hazy due to my exhaustion, but Lord Soth was brought up at one point, but I'm unfamiliar with the name.
Well, that is going to be a problem. You familiar at all with the story of Lord Soth? Other than perhaps the ones you saw in vision?
I'm afraid not.
Might be for the best. Lord Soth, a man from ages past, is a death knight now. The most powerful of any such being on Krynn. Once a Solomonic knight of the Order of the Rose, he was a paragon, virtue, justice, till his pride got the better of him. The gods gave Soth a chance at redemption, charging him with confronting the king priest of Istar, averting the cataclysm. Soth abandoned his quest. The cataclysm devastated Krynn, and Soth perished in the flames, rising as an undead horror in his cursed castle of Dragonlance Keep. We thought perhaps the Dragon Queen would be able to summon such a thing to her side, and it seems that is the case.
So what do we do?
We need to know where he's going and what he took.
I suppose Dragonlance Keep is a good place to start that.
Perhaps, but if he is not there, then we cannot stop the actions he's going to take. We'll need
This
to make
Karadoc character that we met,
Yes.
obviously he seemed somewhat malevolent, but he also seemed, well, certainly more sane than the, I forget the name you told me, but the undead knight down below.
Solomir.
He seemed pretty reluctant to return to Dragonlance Keep. I wonder if he knows what's going on. You know, if we could release him from that, or even put an end to his, you know, eternal whatever it may be, he might be willing to help us.
Perhaps. Karadoc was known to be fickle, cowardly, but he was loyal to Lord Soth to the end. Don't know if we're going to have much luck getting him to turn on the one person he ever loved other than himself. Did Soth take anything? Was anything missing? Did you investigate the catacombs?
Not particularly. We were too busy bleeding everywhere. I'm afraid we had to beat somewhat of a hasty retreat. It was only myself even standing at the end of it. Didn't really have any time to look around. The catacombs are still there. And we've vanquished whatever that knight was, and, well, we're not standing too far from them right now if you wish to go look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is she drilling you? Why don't you go look?
I'd accompany you. I was planning on resting because I'm, as you probably are all too aware, completely spent, but I still have some tricks up my sleeve, I suppose. I didn't know if we were going to encounter anybody else down there. I didn't push any further.
It's fine. I will look. I can only hope that the visions will appear for me, since you don't seem to remember them very well.
They seem to be triggered by the rooms we entered. There's some sort of design of enchantment in there. I'd imagine they would. They told the story of the crypt, perhaps, but it seemed to get dark towards the end.
Fine. Last reason that I'm here. The Tower of High Sorcery at Wayrith has denied the request to travel there and participate in the test of High Sorcery. The threat of the Dragon Army is too great. The Orders don't want to be perceived as taking sides in the conflict. However, head of the Conclave, Mage Parsalion, has granted you a special exemption. Wyan reaches into her robes and proffers you a simple wooden brooch studded with black, red, and white stones, symbols of the Mage of High Sorcery. You're allowed to practice your magic as provisional member of a Mage of High Sorcery. The time of your test will be decided after the Dragon's Army's threat has passed. Till then, this token represents the Conclave's blessing. Congratulations, Provisional Mage. As she hands it to you, she clasps your hand really closely and leans in to you. You will be taking this test. Soon. Don't give a rat's ass about what the tower says. You're taking the damned test. So,
Well,
when you're rested, she relaxes back, leaving you the token in your hand. Upon your rest, I will find you again. There's things that must be done. For now, I'm going to go see if these visions will come to me as well as you. Perhaps I'm just as special.
Ryan, one question regarding this, and I sort of, wiggle the brooch at her. When I wear this, will people treat me differently?
Do they not already?
Somewhat, I suppose.
Then yes, they'll treat
Might
you
as well have a
differently.
badge.
Some will fear you. Some will hate you. Some will find you as just a curiosity.
Well, at least we'll be
Others?
adding fear to the mix.
Depending on who you're talking to. Most common folk find mages to be unnerving, different, sometimes evil. Probably doesn't help
sort
that
of-
we allow the worst of our members to just operate out in the daylight.
Yes, why would any of us think anyone's evil? I'll sort of humorously shrug at her black feathered robes and be like,
Once again, I'm retired.
Can you retire from a morality? I suppose that's a conversation for another time.
It is. If I don't have any of those visions, I will be back here, Talinor, and I expect you to remember more.
All right. Well, how about you don't interrupt my rest, and then I may be able to remember more.
Get snippy with me, young man.
Snippy
She's
with
going
me
to
first.
exit the room, leaving you with the brooch and an interrupted portion of trance.
Lock the door. Back to
Lock- Lock the door. We come back
Lock the door,
to...
lock the bathroom door, lock the shower cubicle, trance.
We come back around to our friends trundling up to the castle keep, riding on horseback. And when you arrive, you can hear something back towards the gate of which you had just moved through. Horns. What sounds like possibly is alarm and then a fanfare. it seems that the forces of Kalaman have returned.
Oh,
What do you all want to do?
God.
As you
Do we
arrive
see
back
who's
to the
leading?
They would be all the way back
Yeah.
out by the trade gate.
Okay.
So for you guys,
I
you're
just
at the
go back
castle,
to the castle.
dismounting. You're there. You can just hear what is
Yep.
likely the arrival of the army back.
I walk into the main room with the meeting, where the meeting was at, where they're all dead. How's it
It is-
looking?
Mostly clean. There is still blood being scrubbed from the floors, but you do note most of the bodies have been either moved off or disposed of or are lying shrouded around the room.
I will throw my glaive on the table, and I will pull up one of the chairs, doesn't matter what one, and I will prop my feet up on the table, crisscross them, and take the bag, and I'm going to start rummaging through, but I'm not gonna throw it everywhere. I'm just gonna kind of see exactly what's inside, see what's in the book with the notes, and I'm going to not show everybody the glowy jewel because she's not stupid. She knows that it does kind of look important, and I'm sure she's seen Razik use it or have it in his hand, I want to assume.
I mean, yeah, Razik has made use of it probably in the open at some point in time during camp or upon imbuing magic items, right? Because most of you had some kind of magical item given to you by him. So
she will, she's actually going to take that and she's going to tuck it away in her, shirt pocket, whatever, secret, one really bad hidden secret pocket.
Okay.
Right next to her heart. She's going to keep
right
right
next
there.
to her heart. A nice little gemmy.
And then she's going to take the little bird carving and what's Svarl doing?
Yes, Vartle. What are you doing?
How many have we been up for several days at this point?
Yes.
You hear Talanor's voice calling from off screen. Yes. I'm trying to sleep.
I'm so tired.
I don't see a world where he wouldn't, especially with how big he is and how much energy he expends, wouldn't just pass out.
Oh yeah.
Just not under his control, just basically just go unconscious.
Okay. If he passes out, if I see him he probably, I don't know, does he just get into a chair and just go?
No, he'd be walking maybe towards Talanor's room or something and then just
Okay. She will put the little carving in the
collapse
pocket.
slowly.
She'll put the carving in the pocket to make sure she can give it to Svartal later. And then she will finally take out the book. And is there any is it tied together? Is there a contraption or anything to open it? Or
It's a scroll book.
Okay.
And knowing Razik, it would likely be locked.
I look at it and I just start tracing it with my hand. Then I'll flick it. And I'll hold it. And I'm and I dig in to see if there's a key or something to open it.
Yeah. So we'll just go with you're investigating his things and seeing if
let
there's
me
anything
roll
potentially
and-
helpful amongst those things there.
And I'm also tired.
Reyna, what are you doing?
What if we just half asleep, just kind of sitting in the chair next to Ravenna?
Mhm.
What if we just wrote them a note, went to bed, and then came back?
She sighs after trying to dig and she sits there. Somebody needs to tell them what's going on. And she nods over to Reyna if Reyna's peeking over at her, whether her head on the table or whatnot. Go up to the chambers and get some sleep. I'll be here.
No, buddy system. It's fine.
She kind of sits there. She's all right, fine. And she will go, do you know how to open this?
Looks over at the scroll book. What was the check?
It's just an investigation, I suppose, is fine.
Investigation.
It's locked. Hopefully there's a key somewhere, or you're going to have to find some way to open it.
We'll need Talinor for that one, I think.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Then she
Me
takes
too.
the book. She takes the scroll book, stuffs it in, like, into her little, like, belt pocket or whatnot, like a little belt close to her. Starts digging around. There's, like, pretty much nothing else of, like, super high value besides the book, the crystal, and the carving, right? That was, like, I guess, not important, but
That weren't adventuring items or weapons.
Yeah. She will be, like, looking. She just stops and takes a sigh. What am I doing?
So you guys wait. Svartal passes out at the table while everyone cleans up around.
Svartal said that he was going to go to the room or head over to.
No, it would be on the way to the room. It's on the
okay.
floor. I mean, he's very much passed out on the floor.
Okay, just like outside the room, just laying there. Sure.
Yeah, because he's kind of focused on everything. He's on his hyperfixation, so he wasn't going to sleep on purpose.
Understood. And so we wait. It doesn't take overly long. Castle Kalaman eventually is a bustle with noise, people arriving. There's clamoring about. You can hear kind of like shouts and things as the attendants are relaying information to those leaders about what has happened. And you note that one Darrett Highwater comes into the room. He looks tired, bags under his eyes. He sees you all in your haggard state and gives a small smile and shakes his head. He's like, I thought the worst. You note the long pink scar along his neck seems to be healing nicely, and he wears it openly. Places his helm, old Becklin's helm, onto the table and plops himself into a chair and looks around. Only the three of you here. I hadn't expected a warmer welcome. Though, he looks around where people are still cleaning up. I've heard we've had some losses. The governor? Dead?
Dead. She nods.
And they said a tiefling as well?
She kind of waits and pauses a bit and Razik didn't make it.
I see. Well, he reaches a hand up and touches at that scar on his neck. I would have likely bled out at some point if not for him. That is a true loss. Talinor is all right, just missing.
Per usual.
Right.
He's resting.
He was kind of the last one standing, so kind of deserves to rest. But
We all deserve rest.
Well,
But
the army is back. I will desire a full debrief from yourself, Talinor included. Marshal Ventry should be arriving by the evening. You have my thanks and permission to go get some rest. We'll handle securing the castle. Is there anything else I need to know? They said they came in as disguised Solamnic soldiers, and you note, like, he's staring at Reyna and looking at your different armor.
and Reyna looks very defeated.
we had her change. We had a runner send to the gates to make sure no other Solamnic knights entered.
Is that why they gave me so much trouble when I tried to enter?
Yes. It was just
Fortunately, they weren't going to stand against their own army.
It was just a precaution. I apologize if it caused you any.
Understandable. It's fine. We're all exhausted and hurt. And he, like, looks out the door to where Svartal is snoring on the ground. Some of us didn't make it to the rooms. Where is Razik's body now?
The elders are the elders from Vogler, right? There's the town Vogler?
Hmm?
Yeah. They're watching over his body as we speak, so that we may bury it. But Van is missing, and so is...
Katina?
Yeah,
Tatina.
Tatina.
Right. Missing. That's not good. Were they taken?
We don't know.
All right. I'll have those that can scour the castle for them. You checked their workshop, right? They're not just down there tinkering away, are they?
She looks at him with an exasperated, she is tired. She has lost one of her friends. She is like, you really asking me that right now?
Sure, we will investigate. Go get some rest. Full debrief in the morning. Thank you for making it back. Well, I think I would have rather you have saved the governor than myself, but this is what we're dealt. You can't be everywhere at once. Right.
No.
He'll push himself back up from the chair, stand, gives you a curt nod, grabs his helm, and will begin to issue orders to the arrived army, scour the castle, and to set the necessary guards and watches before Marshal Vendry and her forces arrive. You all can head up to the room. Drag Svartle along the way if you must.
I will drag my brother.
Raina's helping one leg and her on the other leg, and Ravenna's
Going up the stone stairs.
check.
Doof, doof. Just his
Yep.
head on the
Yep.
stairs all the way up.
Uh-huh.
And you find that the door is locked.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh. Oh.
Telenor, there's a knock at
Telenor.
the door. There's a knock at the door. It's louder this time. Quite certainly not Wyan.
I'm mute. I'm going to cast blindness deafness on myself and go back.
I'm going to, I would like to take my javelins, and I would like to, multiple of them, even though I am tired, I'm going to attempt to jab them into the side of the door and like pry it open.
Roll me athletics checks with disadvantage.
We'll just open the door.
That's acrobatics. I don't know what
Oh,
your
oops, sorry. Athletics, sorry.
athletics bonus is.
There we go.
It's less, which is odd for someone who is a strength-based character. Regardless, Telenor on the other side, woken from your trance once again, wishing you could cast blindness deafness on yourself. You see the point of a javelin go through the door jamb, and it begin to be pried, as on the other side you hear boom, 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 and Raina shouting at you to open the door.
I'll very gingerly unlock the door, avoiding the tip of the javelin
Yeah,
protruding.
and
Right as he's about to unlock it, chung, another javelin just stabs through the door.
Yep. Trying to wrench it open. You open the door gingerly, and there you see your tired, exhausted, and exasperated party. Allowed to enter,
you.
reclose the door, lock it again, and finally find yourself a long rest.
Yay.
We can
Has
get
it been
to
2 sessions of not having one?
it's been 3.
It's been 3
Um,
sessions. Cool.
Yep.
Yep, because we didn't
That-
sleep on the way over there, then we didn't sleep on the way back.
Well, congrats. That's the first time I've ever played this game where that's
I
happened.
was just gonna say, that's the first time I've ever played.
Yeah.
Where
Making
that's
use of
happened.
the exhaustion mechanic to increase difficulty. It's fun and awful.
Oh my gosh, I hate it. Yeah.
Congratulations to our characters for their level up here. And we give a mournful goodbye to our friend Razik. Pour one out for the homie. And that is where we'll end our session for the day. We will be careening towards end game here. So for those of you that may be following along with the module at home, things shift and change much more than I already have in the what is likely to be last 2 to 3 episodes here. So, thank you all for joining us this evening, afternoon, morning. God, I don't even, what is fucking time? And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Time is a weird soup.